Lily and Tom were the best of friends, living next door to each other in a cozy neighborhood where every day felt like a new adventure waiting to happen. Their houses stood side by side, and their laughter often filled the air, echoing across the gardens. With just a little wooden fence between their gardens, it was easy for them to talk, share secrets, and dream up plans for the day. Sometimes they would pass notes through the fence or peek through the gaps to make funny faces at each other. Lily loved to draw dragons and castles, her red pigtails bouncing as she sketched. She could spend hours with her crayons, imagining magical lands where anything was possible. Her drawings covered her room, each one telling a story of adventure and bravery. Tom, in his favorite blue rocket shirt, built towers with his wooden blocks. He liked to imagine his towers were rocket launch pads or secret hideouts for brave explorers. Sometimes he would build bridges to connect his creations to Lily's imaginary castles. Every morning they waved from their windows, eager for a new adventure. It was their special way of saying, "Let's make today amazing," before they even stepped outside. Today the sun was shining and the garden felt magical. The sky was a brilliant blue, and the flowers seemed to dance in the gentle breeze. Birds chirped cheerfully, adding music to the morning. Lily and Tom sat under the big oak tree with their favorite toys, crayons and building blocks. The shade of the tree was cool and inviting, making it the perfect spot for their imaginations to run wild. "What should we do today?" Lily asked, drawing a purple flower. She loved how the petals looked like tiny bursts of colour on her paper, and she wondered what new adventures they could create together. "Let's build the biggest castle ever," Tom replied, stacking blocks with excitement. He imagined knights, dragons, and secret passageways hidden inside their castle walls. Their garden was their kingdom, a place for knights and explorers, where every bush could hide a dragon and every flower could be a magical treasure. Together, they ruled their imaginary land with courage and creativity. Today, they decided to be explorers and search near the old garden shed. The shed was mysterious, with ivy climbing its walls and shadows that seemed to whisper secrets. "Let's go on a treasure hunt," Lily said, eyes sparkling with excitement. She imagined finding hidden maps, sparkling jewels, or maybe even a message from a friendly garden fairy. "Yes!" Tom cheered, and they packed imaginary explorer bags with everything they might need: magnifying glasses, snacks, and of course their trusty map drawn on a napkin. They tiptoed past rose bushes, careful not to disturb the butterflies resting on the petals. Every step felt like part of a secret mission, and hopped over a line of ants, turning their garden into a world of adventure. Each tiny creature became part of their story, and every corner of the yard held a new surprise. Little did they know, something magical was waiting to be discovered, something that would make this sunny day one they'd never forget. Behind the old shed, Tom spotted something sparkly glinting in the morning sun. The grass was still wet with dew, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of wildflowers. Tom's heart skipped a beat as he crept closer, curiosity bubbling inside him. There, tucked under a big green leaf, was a mysterious object. "Lily, look," he whispered, his eyes wide with excitement. He could hardly believe what he was seeing. Lily tiptoed over, careful not to make a sound. She gently pushed the leaf aside and gasped. Beneath it was a small, shimmering top hat, decorated with a bright red ribbon that seemed to glow. The hat sparkled as if it held a secret inside. "Wow!" breathed Lily, her voice barely more than a whisper. "It's so beautiful. I've never seen anything like it before." Tom reached out and touched the hat. It felt soft and warm, like velvet that had been left in the sun. The warmth seemed to travel up his fingers, making him shiver with delight. The hat seemed magical, almost alive, and the children wondered who it could possibly belong to. Was it left behind by a magician, or maybe a fairy? "Should we pick it up?" Tom asked, glancing at Lily. He felt a mix of excitement and nervousness, unsure what might happen next. Lily nodded bravely, and as she lifted the hat, it began to wiggle and glow in her hands. The light grew brighter, casting colourful patterns on the ground. Suddenly, a puff of glitter floated out, sparkling in the air. The hat wobbled, then with a little hop, it jumped right out of Lily's hands, as if it had a mind of its own. To their amazement, the hat started to grow, bigger and bigger, stretching taller and wider until it was as tall as Tom himself. The children could hardly believe their eyes. Sparkles swirled around it like a tiny tornado, spinning faster and faster. The air was filled with shimmering lights and a soft, magical hum. Lily and Tom stared in wonder, their faces lit up with amazement. They weren't scared at all, just curious and excited to see what would happen next. The hat was no ordinary hat. It was magic. It shimmered with possibilities, and the children's imaginations soared. What could it do? Where did it come from? The magical hat was about to reveal something incredible, and Lily and Tom could hardly wait to discover its secret. The hat stopped growing, its colours shimmering in the sunlight as if it held a secret inside. For a moment, everything was still, and the air seemed to tingle with magic. Suddenly, a friendly tiger face popped out, his whiskers twitching with excitement and his eyes sparkling with curiosity. He wore a bright blue waistcoat that made him look both dapper and magical. With a big, warm smile, he waved his paw. "Hello, I'm Timmy," he announced, his voice cheerful and inviting. Lily and Tom stared in amazement. This was a real, talking tiger right in front of them. They could hardly believe their eyes. "This is my magic travelling hat," Timmy explained, tipping it with a flourish. "Thank you for finding it. Without it, I'd be lost." Lily grinned, her eyes wide with wonder. "I'm Lily, and this is Tom," she said, introducing themselves to their new, extraordinary friend. "Nice to meet you both," Timmy said, bowing politely. "I'm off to Whispering Woods, a place full of secrets and surprises. Would you like to come along on an adventure?" An adventure with a talking tiger sounded like the most exciting thing ever. "Yes, please!" they cheered, jumping up and down with excitement. "All right," Timmy said. "Hold on to the brim, close your eyes, and think a happy thought. That's how the magic works." Lily squeezed her eyes shut and thought of her favourite drawings, while Tom imagined the tallest tower he'd ever built with his blocks. They each grabbed the sparkly brim, their hearts pounding with excitement and a little bit of nervousness, wondering what would happen next. The adventure was about to begin, and the air buzzed with anticipation. Anything seemed possible with Timmy and his magical hat. They held on tight, feeling the magic swirl around them. With a whoosh, they were off. Whispering Woods awaited, and their journey together was just beginning. "Ready? Here we go!" Timmy called. Lily and Tom closed their eyes and felt themselves float up, the hat spinning gently. Sparkles swirled, and a tinkling sound filled the air. It felt like drifting on a rainbow cloud. In a blink, their feet touched soft ground. "Open your eyes," Timmy said. They found themselves in a beautiful forest, Whispering Woods. Tall trees with colourful leaves stretched to the sky, sunlight dancing on the mossy floor. The air was full of gentle whispers and birdsong. "The trees share happy secrets with the wind," Timmy explained. The woods smelled of earth and flowers, peaceful and magical. "Isn't it lovely?" Timmy beamed. "Let's explore." He led them down a winding path. Lily and Tom followed, hearts full of wonder. As they walked, a soft sniffing sound caught their attention. They found a little brown squirrel, teary-eyed and holding empty paws. "What's wrong?" Timmy asked gently. "I'm Squeaky," the squirrel sniffled. "I can't find any nuts for winter. The wind blew them all away." Lily and Tom looked at Squeaky's empty basket and felt sorry for him. "Don't worry," Lily said, patting Squeaky's shoulder. "We'll help you." "Yes, we're good at finding things," Tom added. Squeaky's eyes brightened. "Really? You'd help me?" "Of course," Timmy smiled. "That's what friends do." Squeaky managed a small smile. For the first time that day, he felt hope. The team was ready to help. Their next adventure had begun. Timmy gathered everyone. "We need a plan," he said. "Tom, you're our lookout. Find a high spot to spot nuts." Tom grinned and scrambled onto a big rock. "Look out, Tom is ready." "Lily, you're our spotter. Use your sharp eyes to find hidden nuts." Lily smiled. "I'll find every single one." "Timmy and I will collect the nuts," Squeaky said, excited. With jobs assigned, Team Nutfinder was ready. Tom scanned the woods, Lily searched under leaves, and Timmy and Squeaky gathered the finds. They worked together, each using their special skills. Squeaky's sadness faded as the team sprang into action. The nut hunt was on. Teamwork and kindness would save the day. The adventure continued. The plan worked perfectly. Tom, on his rock, pointed out nut hiding spots. Lily, the super spotter, found acorns under ferns and near tree roots. Timmy and Squeaky collected the nuts, dropping them into the basket with happy plinks. Sometimes Timmy shook branches to help, and Squeaky scurried into hollow logs. They laughed and cheered as the basket filled. Each friend's special skill made the team stronger. The basket grew heavier with every find. They worked all afternoon, helping and encouraging each other. The woods echoed with their laughter. They weren't just a team, they were friends. Helping Squeaky felt wonderful. The nut basket was almost full. Their teamwork made the dream work. Soon, Squeaky's basket overflowed with acorns, hazelnuts, and walnuts. Squeaky's eyes shone with gratitude. "Thank you. I could never have done this alone." He hugged each friend, his heart full. To celebrate, Squeaky cracked open 3 perfect walnuts. He shared them with Lily, Tom, and Timmy. They sat under the oak tree, munching on the delicious nuts. The snack tasted extra special, a gift of friendship. "Helping feels really good," Lily said, smiling. "It's the best," Tom agreed. Timmy nodded. Kindness is a kind of magic too. Their hearts and tummies were full. They were proud of their good deed. The best adventures, they realized, were the ones where you help someone. The sun set, painting the woods in orange and pink. It was time to go home. They hugged Squeaky goodbye. "Visit again soon," he called, waving. Timmy tipped his sparkly hat. "Time to go, adventurers!" The hat grew big again. "Hold on and think of home," Timmy said. Lily and Tom closed their eyes, picturing their garden. The hat spun, sparkles tinkling, and in a blink, they were back under their oak tree. Timmy waved, then disappeared into the hat with a poof of glitter. The hat vanished, leaving a few sparkles behind. Lily and Tom smiled at each other, hearts full. They'd had a magical day, one they'd never forget.